use your calculator to find the solution to this equation. We've got all the terms on one side, so this might lend it well to the x-intercept method, where we graph y equals the left-hand side, and then look for a point where the graph crosses the x-axis. When it crosses the x-axis, the x-coordinate, well, the y-coordinate is 0, so the x-coordinate is the number that when you substitute that number for x, it gives you 0. So that's why that's a solution. So we want to graph y equals the left-hand side, and the print might be a little small, but I'll try this. 0.1 x, and the calculators differ somewhat, but when you press that, it might be a hat and then to the third power, minus 0.0309 x squared, minus 0.2518 x minus 0.4848. And the button right above the divided by button, we'll raise it to a power, second power, to the third power. Let me double check that I've entered it correctly. Yeah, the TI-83 Plus's, the look of it is a little different, but the videos that I mentioned at the beginning of class, I think I used the older operating system, so it's a little bit clearer exactly what the keystrokes are. This is I finally broke down this past summer and upgraded to the latest operating system for the TI-84 Plus. So hopefully, the combination of the videos, everyone will find something that sort of looks like their calculator. I'm going to zoom. Press the zoom button to the standard viewing window. I don't know exactly what viewing window my calculator's in, but I want to start in the one that has negative 10 on the left, just like this one does, and positive 10 on the right, and negative 10 at the bottom, and positive 10 at the top. So if I zoom 6 and press the number 6 there, it should give me a picture that kind of looks like this one.
Yeah, that's different than the one in our homework.
Okay.
All right.
Is it supposed to be different than the one in my math lab?
Yes, yes. It picks random numbers for the coefficients each time,
Okay,
so it
gotcha.
keeps it fresh.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Keep you on your toes.
Yeah. So it looks like it's between 2 and 3, though. Somewhere between 2 and 3. It's going to want 3 decimal places, so it's unlikely that we'd guess the right number. So what we want to do is press the second button, followed by the trace button up here in the upper right, one from the left. There it is. The trace button has CALC, calc, above it. If after you press the second button, you press that, I will call that second calc, and then there's a menu of items here. We want the number that when we substitute it for x, it gives the expression a value of 0. So number 2 on the list is what we want here. We want to find the 0 of this expression. So I'm going to highlight number 2 and press enter, or I could just press number 2 and that will do it for me. Just like that. Don't have the solution. It's going to make me work a little bit more. What it wants is for me to tell it an interval within which to search for the correct answer. So I need to tell it a number a little bit to the left of what I think the answer is. I think it's 2.5. So I need to tell it a little to the left. If that 0 would work, that's a little to the left of 2.5. So for the left bound, I'm just going to press enter because it's right there at 0. Enter. It's going to ask me for a right bound. Now I've got to move the cursor, or I've got to type in a number greater than about 2.5. It's your choice. You can just type in the number 5 and press enter, or you can press the right arrow multiple times until you get a little bit to the right of where it looks like the x-intercept is. And once you're a little bit to the right of it, you can press enter, and that will give the right bound of an interval that the calculator is going to search in. So it's going to search in between 0 and 3.4 something. And for a guess, it just wants a place to start. Just got to give it a nudge. Usually wherever you guess, as long as it's between your left bound and right bound, it'll find it. So what I usually do is just start at the very right. I've just pressed enter for the right bound, so I'm just going to press enter again. And it's going to start searching there, and it's going to find 2.30. 8, 9 to 3 decimal places, we want to underline the 8 and look one spot to the right of the 8. The 9 says take the 8 and bump it up to a 9. So to 3 decimal places, 2.309 is what it's going to be looking for. 2.309. And we hold our breath and check it. And it's okay this time. Okay, so that's the plan. Look and see about where the x-intercept is, and in just about all the examples for this one, they're going to be in here somewhere. I think this is rigged up so most of them are going to be between 1 and 4, maybe as far to the right as 5, but they're going to be in there. So you can let 0 be the left bound, maybe 5 or 6 be the right bound, and just whatever your right bound is, press enter again and let it start searching there, and it'll find it quickly. And then just round it to 3 decimal places and type it in. So you do a few of these. I gave you 3 of those in that quiz, but if you can do 3 of them, you can do a dozen. So not that you want to, obviously, but you could. Should I do one more, or are we good? But one more? All right. Oh, I'm on problem 2. Okay. Use your calculator to find the solution. Here goes. See, it doesn't change it that much. All right. Graph it. Now, since I'm recording this, let's see if I can be real deliberate about the keystrokes here. A lot of keystrokes there. Let me clear that out. So once you see the graph, it's second, calc, 2. And then I'm going to select, since I'm already to the left of the x-intercept, I'm going to press enter for the left bound. I'm going to press, see, instead of pressing the right arrow multiple times, an option is just to type a number that looks like it's clearly to the right of the x-intercept. The x-intercept in this case is about 3.5. I'm going to go with 5. 5. Enter. And then I'm going to press enter again to tell it to start searching, and to tell it to start searching there. So there we go. Those keystrokes are probably going to find the solution more times than not. Yes?
Can you just move the push enter, move it up again, push enter, and go back and push enter and have all that already instead of putting in numbers?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And that the advantage of doing of just pressing right and left is that sometimes you don't know exactly what numbers those tick marks represent. So you just move it to the left, move it to the right.
Where did you get the 2 and the 5 from?
The 2 and the 5?
Yeah.
Let's see. The 2 was second calc number 2 there on the list, the 0 function.
That's the left bound.
And after I pressed that, I just pressed enter. Now I suppose in this case, since I'm moved over to the right, I would need to press a number that's less than 3.5, like 0 maybe, and then press a number like 5 that's to the right, and then if I wanted to give it a head start, I could guess a number like 3, which is kind of close. I start searching at 3, and it finds 3.268.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're looking for where the line crosses the axis.
Right. Because if I take this number, it would take us a while to check this, but if we take 3.268 and substitute that for x, everywhere we see an x right here, it would give us something pretty close to 0. Not exactly, but really close, and an approximation to see how close. 3, let's see, clear. Second calc value, I can type in 3.268 and it'll do it for us. Scientific notation, Negative 4 times 10 to the negative 5th power. It's just a really small number. It gets not exactly 0, but really, really close. So let's make sure 3.268 works, and then we'll move on. 3.268. Yeah. So it's closer than any other number that you would round to 3 decimal places.